I want to call on the second speaker as we wait for the first speaker, Mr. Freshman J. I will introduce the second speaker to at least open that warehouse of information to everyone. He is a financial expert. He has written books on financial management. With a heart full of joy and enthusiasm, I want to welcome our financial expert and guru, Mr. Kevin Chukwu Simeon, is here in the house. Please appreciate God for this. This is a great man here, Mr. Kevin Chukwu Simeon. You are welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I believe that you are already enjoying yourself. We want to start the second session while we wait for our first speaker to come. I'm going to be speaking on finance, on money, wealth creation, because I realize that the pennies of the poor people are the most strongest and functional than the pennies of the rich people. It's a paradox for me. I can't understand it. Why the super rich give birth to 2, at most 3, but the poor, you will find 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. You don't have what it takes to train these people. You transfer your energy to your pennies. But those who are rich are just giving birth to 2 or 3. So who can explain this to me? I don't understand it. So I'm going to be teaching you how you can make money if you like. You know, there is a connection between the pennies and the brain. So those who suspend their capacity to think transfer their energy to their pennies. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? The rich man has so much developed his capacity to think that he doesn't have time for... Does it mean that they are not good at romance? They are. But they are not. They know that go into the world and multiply is not only their duty. It's not only your duty to go into the world and multiply. So do your bit. Allow others to contribute also. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So we are going to be discussing today. My beginning point is what I titled Parable of Pipeline. There are people who build pipelines as a business, and we are going to understand that shortly. Once upon a time, in a village somewhere in Africa, a new king ascended the throne and felt that it was right to get water for his people. He decided to hire the services of 2 young men to deliver the promise of water to his people. So he offered to pay them $10 per bucket, right? And the 2 of them were excited about the possibilities that the king has given them a job, and the job of delivering water to the community. So each 25-liter bucket of water that they carry, the king will be paying them $10, right? So awesome. The 2 young men went to work, though very tedious and required hard labor. They carried 10 pairs of buckets every day, thereby earning $100 each per day. Do not be worried about this word hard labor. I find out that everybody is in hard labor. Only very few people are not in hard labor, right? If you are if you are a salary earner here, can I see your hands up? You are a salary earner. Beautiful. You own a shop, you do your own business. Can I see your hands up? Beautiful. Every one of us are in labor. We are all laborers. True of us. What they pay you if you're a salary earner is called what? What is it called? It's called wages. What is wage? What is a wage? If something is rolling and you put a wage, what does that mean? You stop it from moving. So what salary does, and you who are in your shop doing business, the money you make, what do you call that money? Profit? Then you don't understand money. You don't understand the working of money. What you earn is not profit. Huh? Huh? Income? No, it can't be income. Oh, yeah? When you say salary earner is earning income, the business owner is also earning income. But you don't call what the business owner is making profit. It is only profit when it is working and generating that money without your physical involvement. But as long as you are involved, it is taking something from you, right? That's your life, that's your blood that you're calling profit. It's not profit. It is wage. It is a wage. It is putting a blockage to your progress. It is putting a blockage to your movement in life. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So everybody is doing this. When you earn, there is a triangle. So at this point is labor. When whatever you do, whatever you generate is called a wage. Then whatever that wage, whatever you put that wage to do to generate money on its own is called income, or it's called profit. So you call it labor, wage, and then down there, profit. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So these two young guys, they are in hard labor and they are earning wages. So now, one day, one of the contractors called his colleague and told him that even though they were earning $200 each or per day, he did not feel that what they were doing was sustainable. Because over time, energy is going to be weighed. So he suggested that rather than go to the stream to fetch water every day, they should develop a pipe that could run from the stream to the town. Do you understand what that means? Now, the colleague, however, wanted none of such approach. He was fascinated by the money he's making in the immediate. See, a bird at hand is what two in the bush, the poor will always say. Anytime somebody says that to you, that's poverty talking. Because the rich don't talk like that. The rich dare things, they take risk. But the poor, they said, Ojinwayo ane emeraho. And somebody told me that thing one day. I said, it is true, Ojinwayo ane emeraho. Man Ojinwayo ana agata aka. Forgive my Igbo. So, this guy had a bucket pushing mentality. So, what is his reason? Why should I have a bird at hand and be hunting for two in the bush? Why should I reduce the number of buckets I could fetch today and focus on a pipe that could fail? This is the thinking of the poor. Because the poor always focus on today. The rich always focus on tomorrow. Every decision that the poor man makes is today focused. Every decision that the rich man makes is tomorrow focused. They are two different things. When you are a today thinker, your behavior will be different. And if you're a tomorrow thinker, your attitude will also be different. So this guy said, why would you convince me to focus on something I am not sure will succeed? It is better I focus on today. So, rather than take that risk, he says, the bucket colleague continued to fetch his water and earning $100 daily. Is that not cool? After all, what I'm doing is still working. So why would I go do another thing? Why would I try something else when what I am doing is working? Like my brother said, we spoke on radio yesterday. I said, anytime I hear the poor talk, I already know. Because when you want to impart knowledge to the poor, they will say, what is it that they are going to tell us that we don't already know? So the poor knows everything, yet knows nothing. The differentiator between the rich and the poor is knowledge. Common denominator is effort, energy, hard work is the common denominator. Everybody is working hard. Is it not true? But the differentiator is knowledge. The poor man is working hard, the rich man is working hard. Why is it that the working hard of the poor does not make him rich? Because the quality of knowledge behind that working hard is very minimal. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? The only thing that makes the difference is that the rich is weighted with enough information or knowledge that the poor doesn't have. When you see two people doing the same thing and one is getting a better result, there is something that one knows that the other guy doesn't. So now look at it. The pipe colleague decided to still carry about 4 buckets in a day to have some cash while he focused his energies and resources almost totally on constructing the pipe. So he would do 4 pipes, 4 buckets in a day, and then he would concentrate on building his future, building his tomorrow. After 1 month, the pipe had gotten halfway. This ensured that he didn't need to travel as far as the bucket colleague to get more results and still had time to focus on completing the pipe. So he had reduced the number of hours he puts in his work because he had done halfway constructing his pipe. But his other colleague going full length, walking, toiling, saying, I'm a hustler. Have you heard people say we are hustling? I don't like the word hustle. Because if you're a hustler, it means that everything you get in life you have to work for. And that's a true hustler. Such people don't last. So 3 months later, the pipe was completed. On the day it was launched, he was able to fill over 100 buckets of water, which is about $1,000. Now, he no longer needed to go anywhere anymore. The pipe just needed to be opened and he will earn. Are you catching the joke here? This is what is called profit. But the other one is called wages. Wages takes a lot of energy from you. So wages is reducing your lifespan, but you're not aware. The bucket pusher, of course, lost his job. And he has to relocate to another village in search of another job. His strength is now reducing. He couldn't go on vacation to rejuvenate himself. If he goes on vacation, his pocket will also go on vacation. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Why is it that people around this environment don't go on vacation? Try it and see. Go on vacation, your income goes on vacation. Because you must be there to make things work. If you are not there, nothing happens. You leave your business, you are afraid that the business is going to fail because you do not trust those who are managing it. The people that manage our business in this clan are called boy. And of course, you know the capacity of boy to manage a business. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Bucket carriers. So he couldn't really afford not to work for long. He does not have time. He is busy. He's a bucket pusher. Have you heard people who say, I don't have time for what you're telling me. I'm very busy. Write this down. Poor people are busy. Rich people are resourceful. When you say somebody is poor, it will look as if the person is lazy. Poor people, are they lazy? They are really hard workers. They are busy. But busy doing what? Producing nothing. You see, the scripture says, a foolish man is stranded at the workplace because he doesn't know how to get to the city. He doesn't know how to move his results. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So, this guy has no time. He is very busy. His strength is waning. He has lost his job. But before you criticize this bucket pusher, because some of us will be angry against the guy now in our heart. He doesn't know nothing. The other guy invited him to something worthwhile, but he said no. Now, before we criticize him, I have few questions for you here. Number one, can you afford to stop working for 3 months or more without going broke? Anybody? If you stop going to your shop or you stop going to work, can you afford to maintain your lifestyle 3 months down the line? Number two question, God forbid the person, not you, has a health issue that requires him resting for 6 months. Does that thought frighten you? COVID-19, Wurundi Madafonala. And how many months did it last? Imagine 6 months lockdown. Can you survive? If you cannot, you are a bucket pusher. You are a bucket carrier and not a pipe builder. Number three, do you have income that does not require your input anymore to be made? If every money that comes into your pocket, you need to work for it, you need to labor for it. It means that you are a bucket carrier. Number four, do you have a system that you are working on that has the capacity to be a pipe for you? What is pipe? There is a flow that does not require your energy, your participation, your involvement. That's pipe. But if you're a bucket pusher, you must be engaged to get anything. You must be involved to get something. Number five, are you dimming your present to brighten your future? Or are you dimming your future to brighten your present? Listen, anytime you borrow to spend, what you have done is that you dimmed your future to brighten your today. Anytime you borrow to spend, especially on liabilities, what you have done is that you borrowed from your future to spend in your present. You will arrive in your future trying to settle the bills of your past. And there are a lot of people who are living life that way. They are in today settling their yesterday. They are in their today trying to balance their yesterday. How can someone survive who is always working to fill the holes that was dug in the past? See? There are people who are brightening their present, enjoying their present at the expense of their future. So when you look at them today, they look rich, but they are not rich. What they are simply doing is that they are brightening their today, but their tomorrow is so vacant and empty. Number 6, are you carrying buckets or building pipes? Help me ask your neighbor, are you carrying buckets or are you building pipes? See, the type of bucket doesn't matter. There are digital buckets and there are manual buckets, but bucket is bucket. Right? As long as it will have to require you to do something before you earn something, it is what? Bucket. Whether you are earning salary is bucket. You have a shop in main market, it is what? Bucket. Hello? Are you angry with me? The one thing I want to tell you today is truth. Because truth liberates. Truth frees. Truth sets people free. I want you to take note of this. Having your own business may not be a pipe as long as it needs you every day. Bucket carrying business is not transferable, but business is inheritable. How many has been able to transfer their bucket carrying business? You are a bricklayer, you gave birth to children. Now you are on the bed of death. You say to your son, I transfer my bricklaying business to you. Is it done? You are a salary earner, you have a job. Now you are on the bed of death. You want to go and you say to your son, I transfer my salary to you. Is it done? How many people have even been able to transfer their shop business to the next generation? How many? Once they die, the business dies. And you know the worst thing around this climb is that a man is doing business, his wife is not involved, does not know anything. He's doing business, he has money in the bank, the wife doesn't know, the children don't know. When the man dies, the banks are richer every day by people's foolishness and stupidity. There are billions of naira that can no longer be claimed from the banks, making the bankers richer because of people's foolishness. When you talk to such people, they will tell you, I'm not about dying today. As if they have covenant with death when it should come. A wise man, from where he is, plans his death, his exit point. In fact, if you are, one of the signs that you are wise is that once in a while you go to the graveyard and connect with the dead. Because one day you'll be there. In order to make something in the short time, carrying bucket is a good start. Did you hear what I said? In the short time, the best place to start is where? Is to start. Even if it means carrying bucket, that's start. If you want to grow and become wealthy, you need to start working on pipes now. Starting from where you are is a good start, but remaining there is foolishness. Let me tell your neighbor that. Starting from where you are is good, but remaining there is foolish. You started and you've been doing what you've been doing because you didn't know better. That's very fantastic. But to remain there after today is a sign of foolishness. Right? So, if you want to grow and become wealthy, you need to start building something that can outlive you. You need to start developing something that can outlive you. That when you are about to exit the earth, you can say, I have something I'm transferring to my generation. The characteristics that qualify ants as an example of wisdom is the ability to live today with tomorrow in mind. How many of you know that ants only live for 6 months? Ants. They can, from the time they become to the time they die, 6 months. Yet they live in tomorrow in mind. You know, the scripture said we should go. It said, oh, you sluggard, go and study the ants. They don't have kings, they don't have leaders, but they store food for tomorrow. They live today with tomorrow in mind. A lot of people live today with today in mind. But the wise, the rich live with tomorrow in mind. Key lessons from the parable of pipeline. Let me share these key lessons very fast. So it's either you are here or you are here. Now let me show you this. Number one, the two young men were dreamers, ambitious, hardworking, and both of them had opportunities. The fact that you have a dream, that you are ambitious, that you are hardworking, and have opportunities does not mean that you will excel in life. It is what you do with the opportunities that differentiate you. Everybody has equal opportunities, amazingly. Do you agree with me on that? That we all have equal opportunities? Do you agree with me? You live on the same earth, you live in the same community, in the same environment, exposed to the same condition, and you are saying no? Show me a man that was born with dollars in his hands. Show me one. He's saying there is an inherited wealth. That wealth originated from heaven, right? There's what is called first generation wealth. How did it come about? Why is it that in a community, even among brothers from the same womb, why is it that someone breaks out and become rich, the rest are poor? Why? Let me not argue with you. You have right to your opinions. We were born from the same womb, by the same parents, exposed to the same condition, circumstances, situations, opportunities. Why does one break out and the rest remain? Because if you say inherited, now these ones are from the same womb. Nothing to inherit except what every other person inherited. Why does one become rich and others are poor? I have told you one differentiator. One differentiator. Every other thing is a common denominator. Where you are born, where you are raised, the school you went to. Many others went to the same school. Many others were born in the same place. Many others did the same thing, played on the same ground. There is only one differentiator, and that's knowledge. Listen, you sign up to go to the university to study medicine, to study to study law, to study whatever. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. But nobody signs up to study wealth, to study money. You come out with certificates, but you are poor, looking for job. How can you say you are a graduate and you are looking for job? Graduate of what? Electrical, electronics, but he does not know where the nut in the electronics is. How many of you have ever gone to a rich man and said, I want to study you. I want you to teach me. You brag about with your shoulders high that you know something, but you know nothing. Differentiator, my friend, is what you know. And listen, until what you know becomes what you do, what you know is useless. Nobody cares about what you know. People only care about what you do with what you know. Number 2, friends, bucket carriers enjoy more on the short time than the pipe builders. It's so difficult that you started together at the same time. One person, you started building house at the same time, right? You started building house at the same time. And in the next 3 months, one person is still at the foundation level. The other person has packed into his bungalow 3-bedroom. What are you going to call the guy who is still at the foundation? Lazy? Doesn't know what he's doing? You started at the same time. This person has packed into his house in 3 months. Packed into his 3-bedroom apartment. But you are still at the foundation level. Because it's not error. It depends on what is in your mind that you are building. If you are building a skyscraper, you may still have to spend time at the foundation level. But while the other person is comfortable with 3-bedroom. I hear what I'm saying to you? So, in the interim, in the moment, it will look as if the bucket carrier is enjoying himself. He just bought a car. He just built a house. He's just enjoying himself. Why the pipe builder is making deposit into his future? It doesn't have to have a car now. It doesn't have to have 3-bedroom flat now. But he's building a skyscraper of a future. Tomorrow will tell the difference. Neither carrying buckets nor building pipe is easy. Nobody says any one of them is easy. One, however, plans for the future, a time of waning strength, while the other focuses on the bed at heart concept. The bed at heart concept. Pipe builders could be tempted by the short-term purchases of bucket carriers. But to compare is foolishness. You go to ShopRite, the today man is spending, and the future man doesn't have much to spare. And you think he doesn't know anything. To compare is foolishness. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Many years ago, I told people, I said, because what is common is that somebody has gone to serve, now he's been settled. The first money that comes into his hand, he runs to the village to start building. That is what? That's foolishness. That's how the poor behave. The first money that shows up, they go to the village and bury it. The first money that shows up, they buy a car. That's how the foolish behave. That's how bucket carriers behave. Because they want to enjoy in the moment. They don't delay gratifications. They are not making deposit into their future. Number 3, the world has more bucket carriers than pipe builders. That's why it's so difficult to convince anyone that pipe building is good. Because around you, all you see is bucket carriers. What a man is exposed to is what determines his possibilities. Did you hear what I said? Your exposure in life is what confirms or determines your possibilities. Because what you see around influences you. Don't expect the world to agree with you, with your well thought out pipe building strategy. No number of years of bucket carrying qualifies you to give expert pipe advice. Amazingly, we go to bucket carriers to seek advice on how to build our future. What are you going to expect? Because a bucket carrier, no matter how long he's been in that business, is not qualified to give expert advice to the pipe builder. Hello? If you know better, you do better. We go to seek advice from people who are not qualified to give us. They will only give you what they know. See? If the person served and was settled and started business and started going to China, what advice will he give you? It's the same process. He can't give you beyond what he knows, because if he knows it, he would do it. So I can only share with you what I know by reason of what I do. Number 4, smart work is harder on the short term. Do you know what it means to deny yourself pleasures, enjoyment, because you are building pipe? Everybody celebrates the bucket carrier in their entry, but in the long run. So the pipe builder worked harder in the short term. Don't let anyone con you into believing that smart work is easier work. It's not easier work. Ultimately, it is, but not immediately. Short-term pains equals long-term gains. Help me say that. Short-term pains equal long-term gains. Say that to your neighbor. Short-term pains equals long-term gains. I just want to believe that everybody is hearing me. But I don't want to assume that everybody is listening to me. Did you hear what I said? Huh? I'm forcing myself to believe that everybody is hearing what I'm saying. But I cannot assume that everybody is listening, because they are two different things. I pray that you are listening. Today's sacrifices are foundation for tomorrow's realities. So if you are not ready to make sacrifice today, you are not qualified for harvest tomorrow. The approach to smart work follows that in time, rewards outweigh efforts. Okay? The approach to smart work is this, that in time, in the long run, rewards outweighs efforts. Rewards outweighs efforts. Remember, I told you before that the measurement of reward is not in efforts. The measurement of reward is in knowledge. The quality of what is going on inside of you, the quality of the deposit inside of you is what makes the difference. So number 5, friends, public opinion is unreliable. I have concepts that I have developed over time, and what is that? Anytime I see the crowd moving in a particular direction, I move in another direction. If you want to succeed in life, the worst group of people to follow is the crowd. Public opinion is unreliable. When I hear people, a lot of people talk about a certain thing, I stay away from it. I have to work on myself, to set myself on the stage for others to spend their time and money, watch me make my own money. I hate to go with the public. I hate to go with the crowd. I hate public opinion. So once it is popular, count me out. Because I want to be proper, but I don't want to be popular. Listen to this. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. That is that concept. And it was purported by Warren Buffett. People cry about the crash of stock market. The truth is, anytime someone is selling, someone is buying. Anytime someone is buying, someone is selling. So who are those who are buying when others are selling? Who are those who are selling when others are buying? There is no exchange without people in the middle. Hope you understood me. Did you? When you understand what I just said, you will never be poor anymore. Because, for instance, when I watch news, the federal government saying something, this is what we want to do, this is what we want people to do, I move in the opposite direction. Because whatever that is said on the media is a lie. Is what? Tell them that I say so. It's a lie. The rich don't follow that. Oh. As soon as the tables were turned and the chips were down, those who mock the pipe builder will begin to do what? Celebrate him. So when people do not have explanation for your achievement, what do they call it? They call it luck or miracle. The result of pipe building looks miraculous, but the process is never. It takes hard work. It takes endurance. It takes patience. It takes sacrifices. It takes delayed gratification. So it's not easy. It's not easy. 6, bucket carriers feel mocked when approached by pipe builders. Everybody needs everybody, and an invitation by someone who has experienced and seen what you have not seen is an opportunity for your development. What do? Push your neighbor and say, do what? Grab it. Grab it. Everybody needs everybody. An invitation by someone to experience what he has seen, what he has experienced, what you have not seen, is an opportunity for you to develop. Don't play with it. Everything you desire and that God has released your way will get to you through the hands of another mortal. Help me tell your neighbor, you're holding my money. In my book, I said, God does not hold anybody's money. Creatures do. People sitting down here, they are the one holding your money. Tell him or her, I will not allow you to keep me poor anymore. I'll collect my money from you. Money is an exchange. There must be value exchange before money can exchange hands. That's why if you dash somebody money, you have not done him favor. When you teach him how to make money, that's when you have done him favor. But people look for cash, but rich people look for ideas. I don't have time. So, my friends, never ever get into your head that you can succeed without people. Even though pipe builders want help, bucket carriers have difficulties understanding that help. You meet me to give you cash, and I say no. You know I'm wicked. They don't want. The poor people don't want to learn what made you rich. They just want the cash that you have. Tell them we know they give shishi. Want to teach you what made us rich. But the poor will be angry with such attitude. They want your cash, but they don't want your ideas. They don't want your process. So bucket carriers easily dismiss the quest to be helped. You want to help? They say no. There are ready-made excuses from day one. I don't have time. Have you ever had people say that? I don't have time. What are you doing with your time? Poor people exchange their time for money. Rich people exchange money for time. That's why poor man will enter GUO heading to Lagos. Rich man enters flight because his time, he has to buy time with money. But the man who is poor is thinking that he wants to save money. He kills time. He spends the whole day on the road. He's trying to save money. But he has wasted time to make money. I don't have time. My friend told me he knew a friend whose uncle's best friend tried to build a pipeline and failed. Have you heard people who confuse statements like that? You are not involved. Your brother is not involved. You did not know. You were just told, and you conclude, I don't want. Only the ones who get in early make money on the pipeline. Have you heard people say that? I have carried buckets my whole life. I will stick to what I know. I know people who lost money in the pipeline scam. You hear this every day. You hear it. I want to stick to what I know. When what you know is not changing your result, change what you know. You are either a bucket carrier or what? A pipe builder. So friends, what can differ is the type of the bucket. Plastic or digital. The size of the bucket or the stage of the pipe. It is irresponsibility to not begin to lay pipes now. A wise man doesn't leave buckets for his children. What does he leave? He leaves pipes. He leaves inheritance for his children's children. So, investment mentality defined. I'm going to run very fast because our first speaker, who has become our second speaker, is now around. So, investment mindset is a mindset that is concerned about realizing, retaining, and doing what? Reproducing resources. Realizing, retaining, and reproducing resources. That's the investment mindset. It is a mindset that is concerned about the acquisition of assets and not liabilities. When a poor man makes investment, what he buys is liability and he calls it investment. Show me one man whose name is on the global stage who tried all those nonsense. Let me not delay my time. So thank you so much, and remain seated as you continue to enjoy the rest of the program.